You can create a good user experience, get valid addresses, and still have slick-looking form fields that match your brand and inform your CRM. Here's how to get Smarty's US address autocomplete working on a form in HubSpot. Yes, this is for HubSpot, but the principles are the same and can be transferred to other form creating tools as long as you have access to the HTML editor for said tool. We won't be plugging anything magical into the native HubSpot form. To quote HubSpot's support team,
if you're using HubSpot's default form builder, you can't directly edit the form's HTML or JavaScript within the HubSpot interface. However, you can use custom HTML forms embedded in HubSpot to achieve this.
That means we won't be using HubSpot's actual form tool. But how do I get my properties to populate on a form? We're going to embed some custom HTML on a landing page, making your own landing page form. By the way, you can style that HTML form to match whatever you want. We'll use HubSpot's Form API to complete a form as the CRM understands it. It's going to be a slick user experience, I promise. All of this will be possible with some JavaScript code that we'll put on the landing page. The HTML will be used to create the form that your users will fill out. The JavaScript will do 4 things. Call the Smarty API to display addresses to the user in real time, give a warning if the user doesn't complete the entire form, filter possible address results to what you want them to be, and connect with your HubSpot form so it counts as a form completion. But I'm not an HTML or JavaScript expert. Hey, that's fine, neither am I. We'll get through this together, Pookie. For this example, we'll use a HubSpot landing page. Really, any page will work so long as you can insert an HTML element and have access to the footer. There are lots of examples of landing pages out there if you're not sure where to start. But in HubSpot, create a new landing page and drag a rich text module into wherever you want the form to be. Next, wipe the whole thing to be blank. As mentioned in step 1, we will not be placing a HubSpot form on this page. This rich text block will become the actual form, and we'll use some code to complete a HubSpot form that is not on this page. To be clear, do not put a form on this page. I'm looking at you, Kasia. You will need a form in the Forms section of HubSpot to map the results to, so create one if you haven't already. The coded form below includes the following fields, so you'll want to make sure your HubSpot form has at least these fields to map. These include first name, last name, email address, address line, city, state, and zip code or postal code. These are the bare minimum fields. You can add as many optional fields as you like to your HubSpot form. You'll just need to make sure that the code blocks below can communicate the information to those optional fields. I won't be walking you through that process, but there are patterns in the code that you can follow for this. We suggest you use the form creation tool rather than creating the form on the landing page itself. You'll be less likely to get hung up. Now, on the landing page, with the rich text module selected, click Advanced and then Source Code. This is where you can paste the HTML that will make up our form. This is when we build the HTML form. Copy the code that can be found at the links in the description into the source code block section of your rich text block. This is going to be styled in a very simple way, but you can change it to match the look you need by changing the HTML. This contains the actual form that includes each state, as well as the details and design of the form. We're doing US address autocomplete. You can do this for international as well, but you'd need to change a few things. If you want to change the way the form looks, you can paste this into the AI of your choice and include a picture of another form that you want it to look like. And AI can suggest changes you'll need to make. You'll notice in the bottom bit of the code there's a line that says ahref equals http:// your privacy policy link goes here. This is where you'll paste the URL of your company's privacy statement if you want to have that there. We're one step closer to valid addresses, but we're not there yet. While the above code did build the form, and it may look pretty and ready to go, it still doesn't have that sweet, delectable, and magical autocomplete. Also, completing it won't connect it to your CRM. To do so, we have to add some JavaScript. There's a new place where you'll post this code. When you click the Settings button for the landing page at the top and then click Advanced, you'll see the Head HTML and Footer HTML blocks under Additional Code Snippets. Copy and paste the code that can be found at the links in the description into the Footer HTML block section in the settings. For you fancy pants programmers out there thinking, wow, that's a lot of code, why not just two things? First of all, this isn't for you. This is for all the pre-Hello Worlders. And second, HubSpot has some restrictions on what external code can be pulled in. Copy and paste all code into the Footer HTML block section in the settings. You'll notice there are 6 lines at the top of the JavaScript code that begin with const. Those are the 6 easily editable sections available, including very important ones that you'll be editing in the next step. As mentioned earlier in this video, the JavaScript will do 4 things. Call the Smarty API to display addresses to the user in real time, give a warning if the user doesn't complete the entire form, filter possible address results to what you want them to be, and connect your HubSpot form so it counts as a form submission. For everything to work and be tied together, the JavaScript in the footer HTML has to be given keys so that it can pull and push data where it needs to go. We'll go through each of these lines. The 2 lines that say your HubSpot form ID and your HubSpot portal ID are where you'll make sure whatever is entered on your custom form goes into the HubSpot form. For this, you'll need to create a form in HubSpot that has all the fields that you're asking for in the HTML form. You likely did this during step 2, from first name to zip code / postal code. Once you've finished and publish the form, capture the form ID and the portal ID. You can find it in the Embedded Code tab. Once you have these IDs, paste them in the Your HubSpot Form ID and Your HubSpot Portal ID sections. When you complete the form, it'll complete the HubSpot form, allow you to track the submissions, and populate your property fields. Upon completion, your user will be taken to a confirmation page. On the last line that says Your Confirmation Page URL, put in the URL of the page you want them to be directed to. Make sure it includes the https:// part. If someone only fills their first name and no other fields, you don't want them in your CRM. The All Fields Are Required code is completely set up to throw an error if the HubSpot form says that not all required fields are completed. The alert says, all fields are required. If you wanted to say something else, put that on the error message line. Next, you'll connect your form to Smarty's US Address Autocomplete API. All you need is an embedded key from an active US Address Autocomplete subscription. You can get 1,000 free lookups, and then you can purchase more if you need them. Once you're in your account, select API keys in the left ribbon, and then copy your embedded key. If you don't have one, select Create Embedded Key on the right. List the website that you're building your autocomplete form on as the host, and then copy the key it creates. Now simply paste the key into your Smarty Embedded Key Here spot. The source equals postal code is where you can apply some filters to the addresses that are presented to your user. In its current state, it will only suggest addresses that are in the USPS address database. If you want to include non-USPS addresses, put all instead of postal. When you publish your page, your users will be able to begin typing and instantly be suggested complete addresses. And now, you're ready for your direct mail campaigns. High quality data, here we come. Your likelihood of getting the correct address skyrockets. See? Easy.